Do you want to help solve a cold case? If you do, we have some exciting news. We're teaming up with a very well-known DNA and genetic genealogy company to solve a cold case. In a few weeks, we'll release a video with more details about the case we'll help solve. We'll be doing this through YouTube memberships. Half the money we receive will go to funding DNA testing and genetic genealogy, which will hopefully help solve the cold case. We have 2 membership levels, and both will help solve the cold case. But you'll also get more perks with your membership. With our lowest membership, you'll get loyalty badges, exclusive emojis, early access to videos, and a 15% discount on merchandise. With a higher membership, you'll get all those perks, plus an extra 10% off merch, an exclusive members-only video every month, and you'll be able to vote on the video's topic. But we think the most important aspect of the membership is to help solve the cold case. Once the case is solved, we'll do a video about it, and, with your permission, we'll have your name or username appear in the credits. This is your chance to change from a passive observer to an active participant in solving a murder. With your help, we hope to bring a killer to justice and give a family some closure. Not only will you help solve a cold case, but you'll also be supporting this channel as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please keep an eye out for a video about what crime will help solve. In the meantime, if you're interested in membership, please sign up so you can get early access to videos, the exclusive members-only videos, and other perks. Once again, thanks for watching. Number 3. Mass-produced organs. Vangeliya Gushterova was born in October 1911 in the Ottoman Empire in what is now North Macedonia. But she's better known as Baba Vanga, or in English, Grandma Vanga. Vanga's mother died when she was 3. In 1923, Vanga and her father moved to Novo Selo, Bulgaria, where her father grew up. Shortly after settling into the village, 12-year-old Vanga and her cousins were walking through a pasture when a tornado blew into the area. The tornado picked Vanga up and she disappeared. There are different reports on how long she was missing. Some say it was hours, others say days. Nevertheless, when they found her, she was alive but badly bruised. Also, she couldn't open her eyes because too much sand got into them. Vanga could not open her eyes for weeks. Her father could only afford a partial operation, and some of her vision returned, but not much. By the time Vanga was 16, she was completely blind. When she was older, she lost the ability to open her eyes. It's believed that the tornado, which took her eyesight, gave her special magical powers to see into the future. In Bulgarian mythology, there are nymphs called Semadivi. All the creatures are females. They're attracted to natural disasters, like tornadoes. Also, sometimes, they try to recruit female humans into their group. Often it's women who are undergoing changes in their lives. For example, puberty, or when mothers become grandmothers. But encounters with Semadivi are very dangerous. Women can be driven insane or killed. But those who survive are transformed into Zanars, which are women with healing powers. In some cases, they can also see into the future. Vanga could do both, but her psychic abilities wouldn't come until later in life. In 1939, 28-year-old Vanga nearly died from an illness. She survived, but she had changed. She started having intense, vivid dreams. She would hear disembodied voices, and although she was blind, she could see ghosts. She was also able to see into the future. When she met someone, in her mind, she saw what would happen in their life. Vanga initially wanted to keep her powers a secret. But then, in early 1941, there was a village gathering. She fell into a trance, and in a voice that wasn't her own, she announced that Bulgaria would enter the war and the village would suffer terribly. World War II had started about a year and a half earlier, and Bulgaria was neutral at the time. But then, weeks later, in March 1941, they changed their position and aligned themselves with the Axis powers. Tragically, some of the residents were taken into concentration camps and never returned to the village. After the incident at the village gathering, Vanga became a very popular seer, and people lined up at her door to talk to her. Vanga went on to predict many things, like the Chernobyl disaster, Princess Diana's death, and that an African American man would be the 44th President of the United States. But she was not entirely accurate in her predictions. For example, she said that a nuclear war between 2010 and 2016 would leave Europe a barren wasteland and no one would be living on the continent. She also said the 44th president would be the last, but the 47th president will be sworn in 2025. Amazingly, Vanga also predicted her own death. She died in August 1996 at age 84 in Sofia, Bulgaria. Before she died, Vanga made predictions that have yet to come to fruition. She supposedly had predictions up to the year 5079. One of the oddest predictions happens in 2088. According to Vanga, a new virus will emerge that will make people old in seconds. Humans will eradicate the virus, but it takes 11 years. One of Vanga's more plausible predictions is that synthetic organs will be mass-produced by 2046, 21 years from now. Synthetic organs will completely revolutionize healthcare because people getting transplants will no longer need to wait for a donor. Baba Vanga's prediction is actually pretty accurate. Currently, researchers are trying to develop 3D biological printers. In 2023, Tel Devere, Director of Tissue Engineering and Regenerative Medicine at Tel Aviv University in Israel, said, quote, "We will start with simple organs like skin and cartilage, then we'll move on to more complicated tissues, eventually the heart, liver, kidney. The organs will be made from the patient's own cells, decreasing the likelihood of rejection." Dr. Devere believes the first organs will be available in less than 20 years. If that's the case, Baba Vanga may be right that in 2046 we'll have printed organs, which will increase the human lifespan. Number 2. Intergalactic Virus. The year 2256 is 231 years from the time of this recording, and you may be happy you're not around then. Because Baba Vanga predicts that year a spacecraft returning from an intergalactic voyage will return with a space virus. But is this possible? The prediction has two aspects. First, whether intergalactic space travel will be possible, and secondly, could a virus from space infect humans? As of right now, traveling to a different galaxy is impossible. The closest galaxy is Ursa Major 3. Ursa Major 3 is a satellite galaxy of our own galaxy, the Milky Way. Satellite galaxies are smaller galaxies. The smallest known ones have only about 1,000 stars, and like major galaxies, they orbit around their centers. But satellite galaxies also orbit around major galaxies. It's like how the moon is a satellite that orbits the Earth. At the time of this recording, there are only 60 known satellite galaxies. Ursa Major 3 is 32,600 light-years away. So even if there was some way to travel at the speed of light, if the spacecraft left today for a mission to Ursa Major 3 and back, the spacecraft would return in the year 65,225 at the earliest. Again, that is just a trip to the closest satellite galaxy. The closest major galaxy is the Andromeda Galaxy, which is about 2.5 million light-years away. The problem is that according to Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity, anything with mass, like humans and spacecrafts, can't travel at the speed of light. So with current physics, it would be nearly impossible for a spacecraft to return from outside the galaxy in 2256. One hypothetical way a spacecraft could go to another galaxy and return by 2256 is to use a wormhole. The simplest way to explain wormholes is that they are tunnels in space that lead from one area to another. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, wormholes are possible. However, no evidence of their existence has ever been found. It is possible that humans could construct a wormhole, but we don't have anything close to the technology or the exact matter to create one. So part of the prediction is theoretically possible, albeit incredibly unlikely. But could a spacecraft returning to Earth, not even from another galaxy, but another planet or solar system, bring a virus back to Earth? Yes, this is very possible. It's such a big problem that NASA quarantines their astronauts after they return from space. In 2024, in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S. Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense published a report that contains a section about the dangers of viruses from space. The report says, quote, "Probes or humans visiting extraterrestrial environments must not introduce organisms from Earth into those environments. Conversely, they must ensure that they do not bring back any extraterrestrial or mutated terrestrial microbes that could pose a threat to Earth's human, animal, plant, or ecosystem health, or the moon," unquote. Some diseases like tobacco mosaic virus and poliovirus can survive in space-like conditions. The report also said, quote, "Spaceflight sometimes reactivates viruses, e.g. herpes, Epstein-Barr, Varicella zoster, cytomegalovirus, and increases viral shedding in astronauts. A human infection in a space-like environment could pose a significant threat to everyone on board," unquote. The other problem is that astronauts are more prone to disease because spaceflight severely weakens their immune systems. What is interesting about Baba Vanga's prediction is that she just said that the virus will come back with a spacecraft. She does not say how the virus will affect the Earth. What is known is that it does not kill off most of the population because she makes other predictions that seem like life is thriving. Also, space exploration continues. So it could just be that the astronauts return to Earth with the virus in them. If so, they would be quarantined, and hopefully the disease wouldn't spread. But this would mean that Baba Vanga was correct. So Baba Vanga's prediction about a spacecraft bringing a virus back from an intergalactic voyage is theoretically possible, but extremely unlikely. A more problematic scenario regarding a virus from space is that it's brought to Earth by the tail of a comet. According to NASA, comets are cosmic snowballs of frozen gases, rock, and dust that orbit the Sun. Comets have two tails, a dust one and a gas one. These tails can be millions of miles long. Viruses and bacteria can be found in the tail. So when Earth passes through a comet's tail, which it regularly does, it's possible humans could be infected with a virus from space. Some researchers believe that this already happened and caused outbreaks in the past. There's even a school of thought that life on Earth was sparked because of a virus or bacteria from a comet's tail. Number 1. Alien contact. According to Baba Vanga, in the year 2288, we'll make contact with extraterrestrial life. But is this possible? Currently, there is no definitive evidence to prove or disprove that there is life beyond our planet. However, many researchers are optimistic that there is intelligent life out there other than our own. There is even an equation to estimate how many intelligent civilizations should be in the galaxy. Frank Drake developed the equation in 1961, and it's on the screen now. N is the number of technologically advanced civilizations in our galaxy, the Milky Way. R* is the average rate of formation of stars. In the Milky Way, 6 to 7 new stars are formed every year. FP is the fraction of stars that have planets. It's estimated that in the Milky Way there are 100 to 400 billion stars and 100 billion to 8 trillion planets. NE is the average number that could potentially support life. FL is the fraction of planets that have developed life at some point in its history. FI is the fraction of planets that have developed intelligent life. FC is the fraction that has released detectable signs, like radio signals, into space. Finally, the L is the length of the signal. The most common answer to the equation is that there should be 10 intelligent civilizations in the Milky Way. And that's just one galaxy. It's estimated that there are between 200 billion and 2 trillion galaxies in the universe. But the question is, if it's statistically likely that there's life out there, where is everybody? This is the basis of the Fermi paradox. Scientist Enrico Fermi asked, "Where is everybody?" in 1950 when discussing the possibility of intelligent life being somewhere other than Earth. If statistically there should be intelligent alien life, why have we not found any evidence of it? Encyclopedia Britannica states, quote, "The Milky Way is about 10 billion years old and 100,000 light years across. If aliens had spaceships that could travel at 1% of the speed of light, the galaxy could have been colonized 1,000 times. Why haven't we heard from any other life?" Unquote. There are over 75 theories about why intelligent aliens, if they are out there, may not have contacted us. One theory is called the Great Filter. To understand the theory, it's important to know the basics of the Kardashev scale. According to the scale, there are 3 levels of technological civilizations. Type 1 is a civilization that controls all energy on their planet. Type 2 civilizations can consume the energy of a star. Finally, Type 3 is a civilization that can capture energy from the entire galaxy, like all the stars and black holes. Earth is about 0.7 civilization. The filter theory states that there are too many filters, or barriers, to becoming a Type 2 or Type 3 civilization. This includes things out of the civilization's control, like being destroyed by an asteroid, or something they can control, like a nuclear apocalypse. Another theory is Harvard astrophysicist John A. Ball's zoo hypothesis. According to him, if there are aliens, they are intentionally not communicating with us. Neil deGrasse Tyson's variation of the zoo hypothesis is that aliens are way more advanced than us and see no need to communicate with us. Asking why aliens don't communicate with us could be like asking, why don't humans communicate with insects? So while there's no solid evidence that there's life out there amongst the stars today, it does not mean we won't be in contact with extraterrestrials in the future, possibly in 263 years from now, in 2288, just as Baba Vanga predicted. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. If you did find it interesting, please make sure you subscribe. We'll have a new video about the paranormal every week. If you just discovered this channel, please make sure you check out our other channel, Criminally Listed. We have over 325 videos featuring bizarre but true crime stories. You can find it at youtube.com/criminallylisted. We also have a podcast about cold cases that were eventually solved called Criminally Listed Presents Into the Killing. You can find it on Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you find great podcasts. But that's all for today. Thanks again for watching.